This is the spot right here. You sure about this? We're good.
The more challenging the journey, the more satisfying the rewards. The remarkable GX and LX, crafted by Lexus.
Hello, Carl. How you doing? Hello, welcome, Carl. Hi, how you doing, guys? Are you hearing me? Hello? You guys hearing me? I'm not hearing you. Hello? I'm not hearing you guys. I'm not hearing you guys. I'm not hearing. I'm not hearing. No, I'm hearing you.
Okay.
Okay.
And I've figured out how to put the.
I know everything. It's new to everyone.
Yes, very new.
Yeah, you're seeing our my screen now.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
So I got it set. I got it set where it'll start from the beginning. I started from the beginning, and you'll be able to see. And anybody that wants the workbook, if they put their email in the chat box, I'll copy it all out, and I can send them the workbook, which is basically.
That's good. Excellent.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Okay. I've got the stuff up on the screen and the stuff up on the computer, and then she has her stuff on the phone.
And we are live. We're Facebook live. So hi, welcome. Yeah, we're live. We're Facebook live. So
I've never done. Can you hear me?
yes, I'm hearing you. How are you?
Wow.
Welcome.
Good.
Welcome.
Where are you located?
I'm in Massachusetts, Dorchester.
Ah. Oh, wow. Very nice.
Yes. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
We're still doing live, so I don't know if you're seeing us on live.
Oh, no, I'm not there.
Oh, okay. But we're recording it also live from the Facebook. I'm just waiting on PYD to be online.
Oh, there you are.
All right. So give me a few minutes while I'll let you guys listen to some nice music while we wait on PYD.
Love you.
Great, we have Janelle on. Great, we have Janelle. How are you? Janelle is on from PYD.
Hi.
How are you guys? We were just playing some nice steel pan music in the background.
Oh, I missed it.
Yep.
Regina should be joining soon. She has been having a lot of computer problems, so I'm hopeful that she is able to connect easily.
So I just want to let you know we're live, Facebook Live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're so glad to be having such a discussion, and hopefully I've shared it on several groups. It's on City of Cambridge group and also on Randolph and in the general group. Leslie, welcome. And we're so excited to be able to discuss disability and dementia in this crazy crisis, COVID-19. What a 2020 start off, you know, not even peaking 6 months now and we're in this, but we have on the line with us, Carl Brian Batty is the executive director, and Arnetta Batty, she the president board chair for Rounding the Bases, and which they'll be talking with us about dementia. And we have Rachel Weinstein, which is a guest. How are you, Rachel?
Oh, good, thank you.
Good. And you're from? Just a general?
I live in Walton, but I lived on St. Vincent.
Oh, good. Nice. Yeah. Excellent.
I met you at Olive Althea's events as well.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then we have Leslie Ellis from the committee member for the Authentic Caribbean Foundation. Hello, Leslie.
Hi, Andrew.
Glad to have you. We're live. Finally, I got it.
Finally.
Yes. So I think we should start in the next 5 minutes. So I'll just continue to play some beautiful steel pan music while we, let's say 5 minutes, guys, in the next 5 minutes. And then once Regina comes in, Janelle?
Yes.
We can have you start it off, and then after, when we reach your area, by that time, Regina should be on.
I would think so.
Yeah. So give us the next 5 minutes and we'll kick the ball rolling, and hopefully people join us from the Facebook also. It's a good discussion. Thank you guys for being involved.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, welcome, Donna. We're listening to some steel pan music where we start in the next 5 minutes.
Okay.
We do not own the rights to these music. You know how it is, you know?
Yeah.
Andrew, you playing music?
Yeah.
The music sounds sweet. I hear steel pan.
And we're Facebook Live. Finally. And we want to welcome Donna Fred from the Authentic Caribbean Foundation, a member, and Lisa from the Authentic Caribbean Foundation also is on the call with us.
Too much on here, so.
No, we're so glad it's 4:05, and I want to welcome everyone to the Disability and Dementia COVID-19 update. We're having a virtual meeting on discussion on the disability community, which the Authentic Caribbean Foundation mission statement, along with the Partners for Youths with Disabilities and Rounding the Base Incorporation will discuss matters regarding both the disability and dementia COVID-19 update, giving a perspective on what's happening in the Massachusetts community from each company perspective. And they will give us a brief introduction on their organization, and we will go about what it is, what we're doing, and how we're continuing during this crisis with the great work that we're doing in our community. We realize that I just watched the briefing from Governor Baker, and one of his important aspects in this stimulus package was to ensure that this community, the disability community, is provided with the help that is needed. And we're so glad to see his commitment to the disability community. So kudos from the Massachusetts state, to be able to look about. And also we want to discuss about access to these funding and these services that our disability community requires and needed. So I'm going to go straight into our discussion and speak about the Authentic Caribbean Foundation and the importance of the work that we're doing and how we are collaborating with our partners to ensure that our community, the disability community, is provided with services and support. We want to welcome Deep chipping up. I hope I'm saying it.
Janapa. Hi guys.
Right. How are you? Welcome.
Andrew.
How are you, Deep?
Good. How are you?
And we know Deep is from the PYD, Partners for Youths with Disability. So welcome.
Thank you.
So we're so glad to have our committee member Donna, Leslie, and Lisa on the call with us. And as we stated, the Authentic Caribbean Foundation continues to provide such service for the kids with disability and also their caregivers. And our mission statement is, we're based in Boston, geared towards transforming the lives of the Caribbean and the Caribbean American children who is impacted by disability, AIDS, and their caregivers through health education support. And not just only Boston-based, but we also cater towards the New England and the Caribbean region. But we're here now to talk about what's affecting us here in the Massachusetts region pertaining to disability. And some of the work we have been doing is to collaborative work with Partners for Youths with Disability and also Rounding the Base and many other organizations to see how well we can, conquer this challenge and provide such assistance. We know that COVID-19 is upon us worldwide. And, as according to the report, it's affecting a lot of the Afro and Caribbean communities the most. So we just want to, give the audience, and we want to say welcome Facebook viewers and welcome Zoom viewers who are watching us live on Facebook. We want to welcome you. And I'm going to take this opportunity to hand over the floor to Carl to talk about his organization and some of the work that they are doing. So Carl, I'll give you the floor.
Thank you. Carl Beatty with Rounding the Bases. We're a small nonprofit that our main purpose is to connect people with resources. And during this particular time, we know that those with other problems, mental problems, don't even have the wherewithal to get the resources. So we've been working to connect people with food, companionship, somebody to check in. We are rest companions with two seniors in their 70s and 90s that are suffering with dementia. And we stay in touch with them. We built a relationship over time that allows them, if they have a need, they call us.
Excellent, nice. Now I'm going to hand over any other thing that you'd like to say? Arnetta, any words from you also?
Hello, everyone. My name is Arnetta Beatty, and like Carl said, we run a small nonprofit, but we also make sure that our seniors have the necessary clothing, food, housing, education. We teach computers for seniors first and then others. And we try to connect our youth from about, I'd say grade school and up to high school to help the seniors learn what they need to learn. So we do it a little different than most organizations do. We're located in the Winchester, Ashmont area.
Perfect. Excellent. And now we're going to hand over the floor to Janelle Thomas, who is the Director of National Initiatives at the Partners for Youth with Disability. Welcome, Janelle.
Thank you, Andrew. Hi, everybody. As Andrew said, I'm Janelle Thomas, and I work at Partners for Youth with Disabilities. We are a nonprofit organization based in Somerville, focused on dignity, purpose, and pride for youth and young adults with disabilities. And we provide that through a variety of programs that we'll talk about at a later time. One of those programs is helmed by Deep Chinapa, who is here with us today, who runs our theater program. And we also work on a national basis to train and support organizations around the country who are looking to serve youth with disabilities in a more proactive way. And we help them use and leverage the models that we've created at PYD, which is short for Partners for Youth with Disabilities, that we've been using in Massachusetts for 35 years. So we do both direct service to youth and their families, as well as work with organizations who are interested in better working with youth with disabilities and their families. This has been a really interesting time for us, as it has for everybody. And we'll be speaking later about how we have been able to transition our programs in a way that are still meaningful despite the social restrictions. So great to be here.
Excellent. So we're so glad to have our two partners on this Zoom virtual meeting. Just to give an update, according to census data that I looked at, and now we're in census 2020, and we want to let everyone know how vital it is for everyone to take the census. From the census data that we looked at, the figures up to 2017, there is over 34,000 persons in the state of Massachusetts in the Caribbean community that is disabled, you know, with disability. And half of them are under the age of 18. So we have some great work that must be done to really, especially from a Caribbean perspective, and I know the numbers is much larger pertaining to other the entire nationality of Caribbean community, of disability community in the state of Massachusetts, but to zoom down into the Caribbean community from the census data, we have found that it's over 34,000 persons who are living with disability, who has a disability in the state of Massachusetts, and 5% of those are under age 18. So it's so great to see such partnership that we're creating and to continue to work together to assist our community, the disability community, with our partners as the Authentic Caribbean Foundation. We always, in the Caribbean community, we know of a lot of elderly folks, and even from a young age with dementia, you know, I've experienced it personally through, I've lost a grandmother who had a dementia, and lots of folks in the Caribbean community who does suffer from dementia. And we're so glad that we have partners for, we have Rounding the Base, Carl and Arnetta, who will be giving us some more information on what is dementia, coping during COVID-19. And they have a presentation that they will be sharing with us on this. But before I turn it over to them, is there another question from our panelists here? Any comments, question?
Andrew, I would like to know who the other panelists are and what they bring to the table.
Okay. So Deepak is, go ahead, Deepak, I'll just.
Hi, everybody. My name is Deep, and I work at PYD. And as Janelle spoke a little bit about what I do, I am like the artistic director of the Access to Theater program that works with youth with and without disabilities. And the focus is to just help them develop the social skills, theater skills, and overall help their self-esteem. And I also I'm like the coordinator of the online mentoring program that provides college students supports in their transition from college to a career of their choice. So anyways, it's a pleasure to be here, and I hope all of you are safe and healthy. And as we get more towards in terms of programming, I'll be happy to share more in detail of what's been going on in my transition of the online theater program, which we currently are in the process. I have 3 under my belt, and I'm pretty confident that things are going well so far. So I'll share more in detail when we get to that process.
And then we have our viewer, which is Rachel. Hi, Rachel, how are you? Hold on, Rachel. You're not muted. Go ahead, Rachel. Unmute.
Oh, sorry about that. So I lived on St. Vincent, and I worked in the communities there. So I'm just very supportive of the Caribbean community. I'm a Bostonian, but I also lived in the West Indies. So I'm supportive of Boston and the Caribbean. So I'm just happy to be here and happy to be part of the conversation.
Perfect. And hopefully we'll have you join as a member and contribute to some of this stuff, because we have great work for St. Vincent and the Grenadines coming up.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. And we have Donna. Donna is from the Authentic Caribbean Foundation with us. Donna, any word?
Hi, I'm from the British Virgin Islands. I have a large community in the New York area, the Boston area, the Rhode Island area. So we're always looking for opportunities where we can help in the disability field, the educational field, as well as the cultural field.
And also on the line is Leslie. Leslie.
Hi, I'm Leslie Els. I'm also a member of Authentic Caribbean. I'm from the U.S. Virgin Islands and also St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm just here supporting, and hopefully I'm really excited. I'm supposed to be doing a presentation with PYD this week about secondary education, so I'm really excited about that. But I'm really excited to just learn more about the work that you all are doing to engage youth with Caribbean backgrounds and learning more about opportunities for access.
Excellent. And we have Lisa. Lisa is on the line. How are you, Lisa?
Hello, everyone. My name is Lisa Harper. I'm also a member of the Authentic Caribbean Foundation. And just as Andrew was saying, unfortunately, I have been part of the dementia part. My grandmother had passed away with Alzheimer's, and it was very hard watching her and trying to get her to the US for care and everything. So this is very important to me, but I'm on here as support, and I definitely want to know more information, how I can help out with your organization.
Great. So we're gonna move with our discussion with Arnett and Carl on what is dementia and coping during, and I'll put the floor right to, I'll hand over the floor to Carl and Arnetta.
Good afternoon, everyone. Carl is going to be doing the slide presentation on dementia. If any of you would like to have another presentation done for your organization,
Trying to share the screen,
we would be more than happy to do that for your organization.
I can't get the screen to share.
Hold on.
Just give us a minute.
Yes. Don't worry, we all learn in this Zoom. COVID has thrown us on Zoom and all different kind of, you know, live chat and various stuff. So, you know, it took me a while also to get used to this Zoom.
Does everybody see the PowerPoint?
No. Would you want to send it to me? You could email it to me and I'll just bring it up.
Yeah.
If you click on the green arrow, share screen, it should share it.
I've been clicking the screen and it gives me the box, and I click the box and nothing.
Oh, sorry.
You could send it to me and I'll share it. I could. Let me know when you're sending. But while you're doing that, you could just give us a little briefing and speak about what is really dementia.
Oh, well, dementia is the blanket term, the cover-all term for diseases of the brain. Alzheimer's is the most well-known, but dementia just covers all diseases of the brain. The way it worsens with time. When it starts, it's just the when it starts, we look at memory loss. We start thinking of memory loss, and it's not just simple memory loss. Where did I place my keys? We all go through that. It's memory loss that actually impacts life. Somebody that walked to the store at the corner of the block every day for 20 years And one day he walks down to the store and he doesn't remember how to get home. So you hear stories that somebody took a 5-minute walk to go somewhere, and when they found them, they were downtown. It's memory loss that impacts life. And one of the exercises that we do as part of the presentation, we say, think of a daily routine, something that we do every day. It could be something as simple as brushing your teeth. And you think of the different steps involved. Well, there's a story about a guy. He went in the bathroom. He was living with his father, and his father went in the bathroom, and he was in there so long. When he went there, his father was standing there, and he had the toothbrush in one hand and the toothpaste in the other, and he was lost. He forgot the next step. And if you think of the many simple activities that we do every day and just how many steps are required, it's second nature for us. But for somebody suffering with dementia, any one step leaves them stuck. He forgot that he had to put the toothpaste on the toothbrush. His son had to teach him how to brush his teeth all over again. You'll find carpenters that have been in the trades for 30, 40 years, and all of a sudden they can't hang a picture. The way our brains are set up, like a bookcase, and the bottom shelves are the memories and the emotions and the feelings, and the top shelves are the complex skills, things that we learn in life, the complex skills. And when diseases start, the first things that go are the complex skills. They empty the bookcase from the top going down, so that all the complex skills and things start to go first. Not all at once, but it will worsen over time. I think it's very necessary that we learn how to signs when we're looking at a person, that we can see the signs that would tell you that something is wrong, because we generally miss the warning sign. Memory loss that disrupts the daily life, challenging in planning or solving problems, difficulty completing familiar tasks at home or leisure, confusion with time or place. That's a big one. Confusion with time or place. Most people with dementia go back to the childhood because that's what lasts, those bottom books, the memories and the emotions. So when they a lot of times will look at you and see you as somebody from the past, and actually be in a different time, or living 40 years ago. Years ago, my grandmother was diagnosed with dementia, and when every time she saw me, she thought I was her son. And her son had been dead for years, but he was the only child, but she thought I was him. And I had a choice. I could either argue with not being him, or I could identify with the emotion of the love and the memories that she had, and just sit there and enjoy that for that period of time. New problems with words and speaking or writing, misplacing things, and losing the ability to retrace the steps. It's one thing to set your keys somewhere. I come in the door, I put my keys on the table, and I'm looking for them. I think back to when I came in, what did I do? I walked past the table, let me look on the table. But a person with dementia will not be able to retrace steps. Decrease the poor judgment. And we have to be very protective of our people that have this kind of illness because they're targets now. Withdrawal from work or social activities. We started the coffee hour as a way to keep seniors involved and give them somewhere to come and something to do. Because one of the first things, if I don't want somebody to realize something is wrong with me, then the first thing I do is withdraw from everything I was doing. So, and we can't fix or even help with what we don't know exists. So as long as we create a safe space for them to come and safe social activities that they will enjoy, then at least they have that. Changes in mood and personality. And that sounds kind of simple, but we've all seen people that they don't like nobody. They just don't like nobody. They don't get along with anybody. And when you look up one day and all of a sudden they like somebody, maybe it's a sign that something else is going on.
The one thing that's changing for the disability community is the fact that our children are being put into this category now with dementia and early signs. We need to start being more cautious and keeping keeping up with what they're going through. As young as 6 to 10 years old, they're starting to develop some of these signs. So we need to start keeping a real good eye on what's going on with our young children. Our adults, our young teenagers are going through some of this experience. The young adults are, if you have someone that's always being so outgoing and now all of a sudden don't want to be around anyone, then we just need to start taking a look at what is going on. Okay. Do we have any questions? We could continue. The presentation itself is generally about 45 minutes to an hour. I know we don't have that kind of time today, but Carl's going to email the information to Andrew, and he will be able to share it with each of you. And like I said, if you want the complete package or if you want the complete presentation informational session, we can do one for you and your group.
I have a question with it because people been saying, well, and I told you due to the fact of my grandparent, my grandma, one of the things people are saying is about proper nutrition. So do you think that is also one of the aspects of the dementia?
Well, you know, I found that with my client, my rest companion, she'll eat better if we're with her than she'll eat by herself. And I guess that's a lot with a lot of seniors, especially the older they get. I mean, who wants to be alone all the time? You know, I don't eat unless Arnett is eating with me. So if it happens for me, and here's a woman that's old enough to be my mother, and I'm senior, why would she want to eat alone? So you know, we stay in contact with her now by phone, but and her grandson will come over and pick up the things that we get here from her, with the city delivers food to her. And the last time he came to pick up stuff for us to take to her, he brought us a pot of soup that she had fixed for us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. And another question, I don't know if anyone else have any question, but I wanted to talk about how is the community coping now during COVID-19? And how are some of the work that you're doing in helping the community to cope?
Well, it's two things going on, Andrew. One, as far as the community coping with what is going on with our organization, it's to us to lead them in the right direction when it comes to the seniors, because that's basically what we do. We connect our seniors to resources.
Perfect.
When the pandemic hit, they came to us asking, so, well, what do we do? How do we get food to people? And I said, well, you got to have a list, number one. You need to know where these seniors are at, number two. And if it's safe for you to go into the buildings where they are. But if you call a senior on the phone, whether you have a list or not, and you're just going off of what you have through the city of Boston, you call a senior, majority of them are not going to answer the phone. They don't know you. They don't know your number. So the best thing to do, the list of people, which I would think is about 120,
roughly
about 120 families, including seniors that we deal with. I tell them, call us first. Then if they know that we're connected, then they will answer or they will call you back. That's one thing to get the community to understand, or the public officials to understand. Seniors will not answer the phone if they don't know who's calling. Whether they need the food or not, they still won't answer the phone. As far as the pandemic, it's not the seniors that are out on the street, it's the young folks. And the young folks are carrying the disease back to the senior. So we could just get the young folks to understand what harm they are doing to the seniors and to families with children, then I think this pandemic would kind of slow itself down. Did I give you more information you were looking for?
Perfect, because what we realize that organizations like ours are very vital and very important for the community, and some sort of mechanism. And I'm so happy to see, because coming from the regional perspective of disability and the way we care for disability community should be the first and foremost, because of the vulnerability of that community. Once again, you stated they won't answer the phone. So how are we going to get food to them? How are we going to be able to provide that assistance to them? You know, so kudos to you on the great work that you're doing. And
well, I think, Andrew, is the fact that you and Carl and I are connected, because you have a list of seniors that we don't have. And I think other organizations would do what we're doing, then our seniors would be a little more relaxed at letting, or at least understanding what's going on. And that what we're trying to do is for their benefit as well as ours.
Right.
And one of the most important things that I see is that, see, we built relationship before this ever started. We built relationship. We built relationship with seniors before this ever started. See, it's too late once something hits to try to create a bridge. If the bridge is in place, then all we got to do is use the bridge.
And that is so true. The way we communicate and preparation is the key as our organization will move on, because this COVID-19 We have never seen it before. It's a global, well, it's a pandemic. So whatever work and assistance we can give, and that's one of the things that we've been stressing a lot is the data. Be able to gather that data, which we're working on. And we're so happy. And again, I stress, if my viewers, whoever is looking and hearing, the vital role of completing the census 2020, because that data will be able to assist us to provide the services of our community within Massachusetts and the United States. So, and definitely we're going to be working with you, Carl and Arnetta, to navigate that data to really identify where our disability communities are located and outreach to them. And we want to outreach to our viewers. If you know of anyone who has disability or affected, reach out to organizations like us, and we are able to continue to provide that support. Even if we're not able to provide it ourselves, we could be the conduit,
right,
to direct that person where they can get help and where that information can be accessible. Any other question from the panel before we close this session? Actually, yeah, Regina is coming on, so any question from the panel before we close this session?
I have a question. I'd like to know if the organization have anyone helping them volunteering into assisting the seniors when you go out and you do the outreach to give them what they need, or to sit with them and eat or console them. Do you have any kind of volunteer group or church or anything like that that assists you?
Other than Andrew, I would have to say no. Right now, it's just Carl and myself.
Wow.
And, you know, sometimes a few years ago, we were without a vehicle, a reliable vehicle to do things in. And my grandma always told me, when you make a promise, you keep it. Regardless of what it takes, you keep it. Regardless of how tired you are, you keep it. So I promised my father that if he provided us with a vehicle, that we would keep that promise. And till this day, we're still keeping that promise. Right now, it's just the two of us.
Okay.
We've connected with Andrew, and we've connected with one or two other people that will provide the resources, but will not deliver the resources.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other question from anyone who is watching or here? I want to welcome Regina Snowden, who just joined us she's the president of the Partners for Youths with Disability. Welcome, Regina.
Thank you, Andrew. I apologize for my delay. I've been having, and this is not the time to have them, it never is, but I've been having a lot of technology problems, and I'm very late, but I'm here and I'm happy to see you, Andrew, and your team and my team together.
In the islands, we say it better late than never.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I want any other question before I move on? Well, I want to say it's with great pleasure that the Authentic Caribbean Foundation continues to, you know, be the forerunner and to partner with Round the Base. I remember my first visit to a coffee break session that they hosted for the seniors. And it was really, really great. And one of the things I was very impressed with is that the amount of Caribbean folks that were there and how important it is for us to really provide, you know, they were caregivers, and some of them are still caregivers. So how we can help them also and provide such assistance. And we know that moving forward, we will definitely be strengthening that relationship. One, with awareness, because the community definitely need this awareness, and two, partnership, and look at resources. And one of the things, as I stated it before, is the importance of data. You know, we always do stuff, but we never really has that data. So that data and how we can serve our community much better is definitely is going to be needed. And COVID has taught us a lot. So we've been so hectic doing a lot of stuff. Now it's time that we're home, we're trapped at home. You should see my brain going 100 miles an hour, trying to think of what can I do? How can I? Because we can't really do it physically because this COVID, boy, you're scared of going out there. I mean, just now you realize a lot of people is contracting this COVID and some don't even know. So how we can utilize our brain, and this, thank God for technology. You know, whether we like it or not, we have to get on this technology and to utilize that. And even to think of those who don't have the technology, how are we going to reach them? How are we going to connect to them? Well, we have the phone too. And again, as what you stated, Carl and Arnetta, that connection to be able to dial in and reach out to them. And let's not forget about those scammers. So, you know, all of that to be considered in the mix. So great job. And we definitely want the community to support us, support the many initiative. Anyone who is listening to us or viewing, donate, go on our website, and whatever you can do, not only monetary, but also mentoring, being a source of, you know, support to these people, to our community, the disability community that is affected while during this crazy crisis. We don't even know when it's going to be over, hopefully by the end of the year or before. But I want to say thank you, Carl. Any closing remarks?
Andrew, thank you for this opportunity. You know, what's funny is that most of the organizations now are run by somebody young, and they think that we lived our time, and it just doesn't apply anymore. And there's no convincing them that we still have even anything to offer. I thank you for the opportunity.
It's a pleasure all the time. I always say the commitment is to our people. We, not me. So we appreciate it very, very, very much. Now I'm going to turn the attention to Regina Snowden, because I know she came in. So Regina, you probably wanted to say a few words until we move on to Kids with Disability Program, ACF and PYD partnership, which Janelle will talk more about it, but I'll hand over the floor to the president of the Partners for Youths with Disability, Regina Snowden, and I clone her. I think she's from the Caribbean because the way
Yeah, it's true. I even came in on island time, right?
I know.
I do apologize for late. Now is not the time to have technology problems. You recognized how grateful we are at this time, Andrew, and it's so true. My goodness, what will we do without technology now? But now I'm going through this matter of all of my technology things I touch are blasting and blowing up. And my phone is gone totally. My computer works half the time. So I'm trying to get help, and help is on the way. But in the meantime, we surely need technology, and we truly need it for our youth. My goodness, PYD has done a wonderful job, and I'll let the others speak to it. I'm so thankful and I'm so proud because I could never do what they've done in bringing together the kinds of technology that we already had in place to help the youth through technology programming. And now we're having to take all of our programming, our one-to-one programming, and put everything online. And they're finding, like me, even if we can put the programs online beautifully, like me, not all the youth can access it very well, and they have trouble and they need tech support, they need computers. So these are just some of the things we're looking at now around the how COVID has impacted us. Is we have the programs to deliver online. We have the capacity to go online wonderfully and offer the Caribbean youth. As we continue to develop our relationship, we can do it now. We can do it right now. We don't have to wait. We can do it online, but we do need some tech support, some tech mentors, and any kind of equipment that could ever come our way. We need computers for these youth that don't have them. Most of our youth come from environments that are not with resources. So they need both the technology itself, and they have some certain neurological disabilities where they need the tech tutoring to be able to access what we can offer. And so I'll just share that as our basic primary need at this time. And and then there's a third one I want to put out there. Nobody has to answer this now, but please get back to Andrew or myself with the answer. We are looking right now for 2 mentors for our program that the parents and the youth, they're from a Haitian background, Haitian, and they want a mentor from that community, the Haitian community. So I'm putting that out there for anything any of you can do to recruit 2 mentors with Haitian backgrounds to mentor youth of same backgrounds. And I look forward to hearing hopefully from someone here that can respond with a yes to, I found a mentor for you. And I'll turn it over now to the team.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I know Lisa, and when you reached out to us, we were on the looking to find, and one of our committee members recommended someone, so I'll pass that on to you also.
Yeah, she'll be very good. We just have to get some information to her.
Thank you, Lisa. Great.
Excellent. So we're going to hand it over to the one and only, and it's been a pleasure working with Janelle. We had an opportunity of going to Washington, D.C. to advocate for the disability community at the legislative session for Caribbean Americans. And it is so nice to be working with her. And the floor is to Janelle Thomas. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. This is great. A wonderful opportunity to both be with your team and also to be on Facebook Live and be able to reach people beyond our network. First, I want to commend Arnetta and Carl, for the work that you're doing, and you have a lot to offer and a lot to teach us about your experience and your expertise. I especially appreciated what you said about relationships being developed prior to a disaster or prior to a crisis. I think that's one reason PYD has been successful during this transition, is because we prepared both relationally and technologically. So let me back up a little bit and say that for those of you who don't know, PYD, Partners for Youth with Disabilities, as I mentioned before, we provide direct service to youth with disabilities and young adults with disabilities up to age about 26. Sometimes we go beyond even to 30. And our goal is to help them live with dignity, pride, and purpose. And so we have direct service all through Massachusetts in a variety of programs that focus on mentoring, theater, career development, and leadership. And you met Deep. I don't know if Deep is still with us, but Deep is involved in both the...
I'm here.
Okay, great. Deep is involved in both the theater and the mentoring program, really helping to lead those initiatives. And what I wanted to share is that all of these things, with the exception of our online mentoring program, were happening face-to-face through real direct relational interaction. And like Regina has said, through our preparation with technology and relationships, we've been able to move that to an online format. And now online it's not the same, as being right next to somebody, but it is helping to combat isolation, to provide information, to help with mental health, and some of the things that if you weren't able to connect online could really be challenging. And so all of our programs have seamlessly transitioned online. And as Carl and Arnetta said, because we already had relationships, we've been able to pull those young people in and keep them connected. In all of our programs, but especially our career development program, we have a high number of youth from Caribbean backgrounds. One of our major partners is the Boston Public Schools. And so we serve youth from a variety of Caribbean backgrounds in that program, as well as our other programs. And I do just want to put a plug in for any youth or caregiver that's watching now. If you have a young adult in your life who's interested in career development, we already have funding to serve you and help you find a job, help you get ready for a job. And so please reach out to Andrew or myself if you're interested in that. I'll put my my email address in the chat after I'm done here. So a few other things I wanted to mention, because I know the topic is about coping during COVID-19. And although the youth population that we serve is very, very at risk in terms of complications from COVID-19, I often like to approach things from a strength-based approach and say that while our population is more at risk in some ways, there's also a lot more preparation that some of our families have done. They're used to having to navigate challenging healthcare systems. They're used to sometimes having to socially isolate because of health concerns. And so there's a ton of resiliency within the disability community and a lot of resourcefulness. And so I want to make sure to touch upon that because there's a lot we could learn from the disability community during this time because they're used to being resourceful. The best guide that I've seen published right now, if you're interested in how to best serve or how to handle COVID-19, if you're somebody with a disability or a caregiver, is from the World Health Organization. So if you Google World Health Organization, the name of the guide is Disability Considerations During COVID-19 Outbreak. And again, I'll write this as soon as I'm done. Again, disability considerations during COVID-19 outbreak. It's available in French and Spanish and can be downloaded for free off of the WHO website. And it's really comprehensive and I think is helpful for anybody who's wanting to learn more. A few other points I want to make related to disability. So we serve all disabilities: mental health, physical health, mobility challenges, sensory, people with blindness or those who are deaf. If you identify as somebody with a disability, we're an organization to serve you. And I wanted to just point out during this that we can't forget about mental health during this challenge. People with disabilities sometimes do have mental health disabilities alongside other disabilities, as well as mental health for caregivers, because the caregivers are now caring for individuals 24/7, which is different than they've usually have had respite through school or through caregivers. And so I just want to say, if you have a family in your life or a person in your life within the disability community, make that phone call, ask how they're doing, what can you do? Because we cannot forget about the mental health challenges related to isolation. I wanted to also share that if you're an organization working with people with disabilities, there's a lot of emergency funding available for you to do the work that you're doing. For Arnetta and Carl, I'd like to send you a few resources that I know of that might be able to help you during this time if you haven't already accessed them. And for anybody else watching, if you email me, I'm gonna type my thing in. If you're part of an organization, I'd be happy to send you some links to some things that we've found. And then last but not least, I think the most important thing we can do as a community for the people with disabilities that we work with, or for those that are in the community of people with Caribbean backgrounds, is to destigmatize any stigma around social distancing that's happening within any of our communities. It's okay to wear masks. Not only okay, we encourage people to wear masks, we encourage social distancing, and it's important to promote that widely, especially as Carl and Arnetta said, for the youth and the young adults who are watching or who are connected to us, because it's only through that kind of proactive approach that we'll be able to protect the people with disabilities who have a lot of risk factors related to poor outcomes if they get COVID-19. So I think we have to change this mantra, and social distancing isn't to take care of yourself. It's to take care of the people that you love and the people in your community. And so wearing a mask protects your community. And so if we can change the way we're talking about that, I think we can really do a much better service to those around us and those we love. So anybody that's interested in PYD programs, I'm putting our website here, pyd.org. You're welcome to check it out. Everything is online now. So if you're a young person between the ages of 6 and 26, we would love to find a way to support you during this time. Or if you're a parent or a caregiver, reach out to us and we'd be happy to support. Andrew, do we have a moment for Regina or Deep to share any additional thoughts related to what I've shared or other things that they might want to add?
Yeah, definitely. We can talk about some of the program and the flyer that we created, highlighting some of the programs that you're currently doing, and which is now still available while we cope through COVID-19. And I'll give you the floor to give Deepa or Regina.
All right, I'll go here. Andrew, again, it was a pleasure. And Andrew actually has come to the Access to Theater program, which I run, and he has participated in it, so he knows what it's all about. As you know, since this whole pandemic, Access to Theater has gone virtual. And I'm happy to report we do not use Zoom, but we use something at PYD called the Big Blue Button, which is similar to the Zoom. So this is, so I had my third meeting on Saturday, and we started out with 10 participants. And as of Saturday, we engaged almost 25 participants. So I'm really excited about it because so the way the Access to Theater program, what we offer currently is acting and improv, and we encourage everybody to be able to see each other, because typically we play a lot of theater games, and we just wanted to see how things go, because obviously this is pretty much a learning curve for me as well. But the way it's set up is we have two artists who teach the class, and I provide tech support for the participants. And depending on what computers they have and what software, I have pretty much walked a lot of them over the phone, how everything works. But the thing I don't have much control is a lot of the students, a lot of the youth, you know, just because now everybody's homebound, the internet provider can't take a lot of bandwidth. So one thing a challenge I ran into is, you know, if you're using a video camera, you tend to use more bandwidth. regardless, I just want to open this up to your community. And if there's any youth who you think would be interested in participating, Janelle has shared the link. Just try to get in touch with me. And considering that everybody is now homebound, I'm happy to offer this program to your community. And as of now, it's taking place twice a week on Wednesdays from 6 to 8 and on Saturdays from 12 to 2. It's typically an hour and a half, but I'm basically holding it for 2 hours just because that half an hour just helps me with any technical support some of the youth might need. And so please feel free to reach out to me. And again, thanks for giving me this opportunity to talk about our programs, and hope everybody stays safe. And it's a pleasure to meet all of you.
Great. And I'm reaching out to everyone who is on here who are not part of the Authentic Caribbean Foundation and would like to get more and would like to enroll. We're reaching out to you guys. If you have a child or know someone who has someone with disability and really need help, please contact us. We can, again, we're the conduit. We're here. We're the voice of the Caribbean community in Massachusetts. Our website, www.authenticcaribbeanfoundation.org or 857-271-6006. We have partnered with these two organizations to be able to make it possible, access, inclusion, critical, and engagement. So again, as what Deepak and Janelle says, it's quite important. And I am happy to bring Leslie on the line, who came as a member of the Authentic Caribbean Foundation. And Leslie, you said you're doing something with PYD now. Leslie? She's still on the line? No, she's off, but we're happy to see that there's many opportunities. And Janelle, you could speak more on the different programs that you have, like just 1 minute, 2 minutes on what there are available that people will be able to have access to. Deepak, you mentioned the theater. Janelle, you could go ahead.
Sure. So yes, Deep talked about our theater program. We also have a one-to-one mentoring program that matches young adults with disabilities with a mentor in the community. A lot of the mentoring, all of the mentoring now can happen online because we have that capability, but typically it happens face-to-face. But for now, we're doing social distancing. As Regina said, we often have a need for mentors in the Caribbean, from Caribbean backgrounds, particularly male mentors. We have a lot of youth who particularly want to be matched with somebody who is similar to them in gender or ethnic background. So we always have a waiting list for youth for that program. And I would say mentoring is probably the most positive intervention you can do for a young person, because you're giving them somebody that cares about them and you're giving them a friend. And during this time, it's something we could all use. We also have a career development program. It's all been moved online, but we have in-school sessions, after-school sessions, where we talk about different career development topics like resume development. How do you talk about your disability with an employer? Should you talk about your disability? How to manage stress? All kinds of great career development topics, and we can offer that totally at no charge to anybody. We have a grant through Massachusetts Rehab Commission, and we are actively recruiting young people from Caribbean backgrounds to participate. And we've worked with Andrew to create a specialized flyer and to do some really targeted outreach. So please join us if you're somebody who wants to get a job, looking for a job, and you're a young adult. And then we also have a summer leadership program. We typically go to a college and spend the night for 4 nights, but we're having to move the program online, but it's called Youth Leadership Forum. And it's a great opportunity for a young person who wants to develop leadership skills and learn how to be more independent and how to become a leader. And all of those programs are for young adults with disabilities. The program Deep talked about, the theater program, is for youth with and without disabilities. So it's a truly inclusive program. And so we hope that folks watching this on Facebook right now might know somebody in their community, might have a son or daughter who want to participate, and you can contact, you have Andrew's contact information and Regina's contact information and mine. And we welcome new members during this time. We don't want you to be isolated. We don't want you to be sitting home alone. We want to be there to have some fun and to have you learn something along the way.
Great. And we also want to say, we care. We care about you. We're here. You know, it's important. We know it is. Myself going crazy, you know, it's between the desk, the computer, and the fridge, or the bed.
The fridge, that's my problem.
So I'm telling you, we just want to say we think of you very, very much. And as part of our mission, disability community is right up there in the region. We might not take it for granted, but it is vital that we look out for those, as what Carl and Arnita says. You know, just a phone call, check up on a friend, check up on someone to see what's going on in these times of crisis, how they're coping. We also help to provide resource, both through organization, food pantries that are available, where someone can drop off food for them and so forth. So it's really, really good to be able to partner and to provide such information to the public. And if you're watching us live and listening to us, we want you to get involved. Any little thing that you could do to assist, reach out to us. And we're so, so glad. Any closing remarks from our speakers? I'll hand the floor over to Carl and Arnetta.
Look, Andrew, once again, thank you. Really, thank you. Anybody that would like to have a presentation would be glad to make sure that happens. If you need resources for yourself or some of the people you serve, let us know. We've still been managing to come up with things during this time.
And we know that the community with dementia, you know, it's dear to me because I've experienced it 10 years with my grandmother. And I know it is how that is. So it's a dear, and I know several of my other committee members, Lisa and others, you know, so that's dear to us. So whatever we can do, and hope, and when we're back physically to be out there, you know, to be able to be out there, definitely we want you guys to be involved. I know Rounding the Base has a very good coffee session that they have, that they provide breakfast. You could tell them a little bit more of that coffee session that you used to have, Carl and Arnita.
Well, it was all Arnetta's idea. She came up with this idea of the coffee hour. That would be a safe place for the seniors to come, and we would sit and have coffee or tea and pick some kind of meal for them to have. And then she got the idea of bringing other organizations or city departments, state departments in that would discuss what their programs offer. And a lot of them were able to get home modifications, you know, walk-in tubs. There was one senior, 97 years old, that wound up getting a walk-in tub. Her last fall was out of the bathtub. The state was able to come and put a walk-in tub in her apartment. So I mean, just ways of trying to connect seniors to the things they need and give them a safe place where they could talk about things.
Excellent. Thank you. And it was a pleasure to be there. And it was fun to be able to, because everybody know when you're a child, and even know with this COVID-19 situation, I'm thinking that, boy, I need to go to my grandfather who is 97 years old and to find out from him how did he cope with the influenza and all of those, those pandemic that happened during his time. So it was a great pleasure. And I hand it over to Regina.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate hearing from everyone. I hear what you're doing and I applaud you. Thank you for your service. I love using the oft-used quote, "It takes a village," and we can all be that village for each other with our unique and special talents and resources. We all have something to bring, and we're all better when we bring them together collectively. And I just applaud you and Andrew. You've been such a great inspiration to me ever since we met. Your energy and your commitment to drive this Authentic Caribbean Foundation with minimal resources. We all have minimal resources. PYD does a lot. You would think we were a big organization financially when you look at all we do, but we're not. And yet we managed to serve mightily. And you can do that on a little bit of resources sometimes, because it's the caring and the commitment and the giving of yourself to another person. One other person can change a life, and that's mighty. And again, in these times, technology is such a source to lean on, and so many of our constituents we've talked about don't have the technology, so we need to really think creatively how to help them be able to access the resources. Deep has a long, near 20-year history of working with PYD, delivering access to theater. He has a brilliant music background. I call him the Pied Piper to the kids because they just cheer and are so happy when Deep comes in the room.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my, they just love Deep and all he brings with his commitment and enthusiasm and humor and talent and creativity and energy level. Woohoo. So now they still get to stay connected to him. And I know that means so much to them because he is our Pied Piper of youth. And so don't hesitate to reach out to Deep. He's so there, so ready and willing. And the youth will enjoy access to theater tremendously. Career readiness, mentoring, all of our programs are there. We just have to think more creatively now with some of them, how we just can serve. But again, PYD has been around actually for 35 years. I can't believe it because I did start it, and guess what? Time flew because I was having so much fun. And it started with just the one-to-one mentoring, and now we have wonderful programs like career readiness and access to theater that brings such topical, important themes to the young people, the education of being ready for a job and the importance of theater and the fun. We always say, we need to bring the fun to the youth. If you bring the fun, the youth will come and you can get into the other layers of what their needs are, but they need to have a good time. So this is an important part of what PYD seeks to offer the youth, to lift them up and bring them higher. Yes.
Thank you very much, Regina. It has been really, really good. I know we have a few like Zulaka and someone from iPhone. Do you have any comments that you'd like to ask before we close off? And I'll have Donna make a comment. Lisa. Any questions or any comment you'd like to ask my viewers? Welcome.
Thank you. I don't have any questions. I would like to say thank you for putting this together. I'm not familiar with the different programs that you've mentioned, so I've taken a lot of notes, and I definitely will be in touch. I am a parent of a child with autism as well as another child with dyslexia. I'm dyslexic myself. And so resources are always great. I am also the Parent Advisory Council liaison for my school district. So I definitely sharing your information with other families.
Thank you.
So again, thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it, and thanks for joining us, and spread the word.
Yeah.
And
you have her connection information.
Definitely. Can you just share it on if you like on the Zoom for us also? And the lady with the iPhone 617406. Welcome.
Yes. Yes, my name is Nina, and I'm part of the Woodrow Neighborhood Association. And Ms. Arnetta invited me to join. You know, what I've learned, what I'm hearing is great for our community, great for what's our current status, how to say, meaning COVID-19, and helping people in the community, especially those that are, you know, the disability and the elders. So I am taking notes as well, and thank you all for all that you do. And we do need each other to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Great. Donna, I'll hand over the floor. Let me hand over. I'm going to have Donna with our closing, but I'm going to hand it over to Lisa. And Lisa is based in Worcester. So we're so happy to have her as a member of the Authentic Caribbean. So just to let everyone know who is watching, it's not just about Boston. It's about the Massachusetts. It's about the New England. So wherever you're located, please reach out to us. Lisa, take the floor.
Hello, everyone again. Sorry, got my head wrap on. As here representing my island, Barbados, always. But this meeting has been very great, and yes. I just want everyone to know who's listening, there will be more. Everyone that we're in partnership with, Andrew will be sending us the information, so y'all will be hearing my name again. Janelle, Carl, I definitely want to get involved. I want to thank everyone for being part of this. This is the best time to get involved with anything you've been thinking of getting involved with, because it's done virtually. You don't have to leave your house. You know, you're pressing the button and you're on. So this is the best time for everyone to be part of things. And as a person who is dyslexic, and it's funny, the young lady, and I'm sorry I forgot your name, all I remember is Queen, because that's within your name. I don't think of being dyslexic as a disability. And I think this is how sometimes you're raised in the family. Like my little nephew is autistic, and we put together his little corner, his little tactile corner and different things. So it's funny you mentioned that you have 2 children. So thank you for even taking the time to be on here. Definitely appreciate that. But I'll give the floor back to everyone else. Everyone have a blessed evening, and thank you for joining us.
Yes. And Donna?
Okay. I'm grateful. I'm thankful to be alive, to have this wonderful Zoom call with everyone. I'm truly touched by Andrew taking this initiative because this is something that's dear to everyone. Dementia is all around us. We all have parents that are now up there in age, and we will get there soon too. But you know, my mother is 82, and I have a friend that her father is 97, and he's experiencing dementia. But it's something that the kids don't pay attention to. They don't even see it. They don't know what the signs are. They don't know what to look for. They don't know how to help. So education on dementia I find is very, very important, that we need to start putting out there, not just for the elders, but also for the young people, and trying to find ways how we can assist them to do a lot of things that, like he said, as simple things like as just brushing your teeth, you know, just remembering somebody's name, just recognizing a face. You know, that's, for me, I see my mom. And of course, a lot of them are going to be in denial. That's another thing. They don't want to believe that they don't remember your face or your name, because especially if they have a lot of kids, it's very frustrating for persons that are experiencing dementia. It's something that you can't even understand, but there's that frustration for them. So I'm grateful for Carl and your wife to come on. I'm proud that you started the organization and reaching out to others to make sure that they are feeling like they matter. They're still here and they matter. PYD, I'm so grateful you're here. We have a lot of young people that need your help, really, really need your help. And for young people, it's also a stigma where they don't fit in and they're dying to fit in, you know, and they have these complexes that they walk around with and they have nobody to talk to at all. And this is one of the reasons a lot of them think the worst, sometimes even suicide. They have a bag and they're ready to just walk in front of a bus because nobody understands what that frustration of that disability, not being accepted, not being a part of the team. You know, they need that more than you can even begin to imagine. So I'm grateful, PYD. I will be definitely looking into some of your programs. Andrew, I hope we can incorporate these into a lot of young groups that we're going to be initiating into our organization. As I see, not just here, but we can reach out to the leaders within the Caribbean. So we can share some of this information that we get from PYD and from Carl for the nursing homes, for the high school, for the kindergarten kids, you know, starting that young. It's really important that they understand how it's important to know these things are happening around them and how to handle them. You know, management of all these disabilities are very, very important. So let's keep on doing the work. Let's encourage each other and just spread the word to everyone.
Excellent. And I want to say special thanks to this team and to the partnership we have developed, and will continue to advance, advocate for our community and see how we can serve them. And once again, I'm reaching out to whoever is listening or watching us on live Facebook. Reach out to us, get involved, be a part of it. Let's help our community. It's very vital. In these times, it takes leadership like our organization on the forefront to really help our community to cope, opening COVID-19, you know, and how not only coping, but when we get out of it, how, you know, because look at the employment rate and so forth, and to make sure that the disability has the stimulus, has the opportunity, has the access to some of these programs that is available. And we're lucky here in Massachusetts, we have a lot of free programs. Free, I know everybody loves free. Yeah. I love free. So definitely we must take advantage of it. And once again, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, and my Caribbean people and friends of the Caribbean. We reach out to you and say, get involved, contact us, and once again, thanks. Walk good, everyone, and thank you for joining. And I will leave with some lovely steel pan music. You know, I love my steel pan music.
Yeah, Andrew.
Yes, I love my steel
Thank you,
pan
guys.
music.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care.
Everybody be safe.
Thank you.
Thanks. Take care, everybody.
Mm-hmm.